What's up, KGS Headmaster here, and welcome back to another Friday assembly. Hopefully your days like mine have been a little bit brighter. You can even tell just from the camera today that the weather outside a little bit brighter, a little bit sunnier, a little bit nicer, encouraging us to get up there, walk, stay healthy, look after ourselves. Although having said that, I am in desperate need of the lockdown barber, so if anybody knows if he's back in business, I'm ready to do my part again for kind of charity and community. But more of that later. Let's see where we go. Let's kick off with some birthdays. I've got the full list. I'm going to try once again desperately not to mention surnames, but you'll know who you are. Let's kick off with Bohan. Bohan is the big 1-8 this week. This is Monday, and also on Monday we had Eve's birthday, 17. Then on Tuesday, we had Asher, who hit 14, Liam, who hit 14, Fraser was 13, Rufus was 13. Then Wednesday, Rubin hit the big 1-8, so many happy returns, Rubin. And then Sophie was 16. The following day, Thursday, so we've got Max. This is yesterday, so Max hit the big 1-8. Many happy returns to Max. Olivia 2, another big. There's loads of 18s this week, so huge congratulations to you all. Ethan hit 15, Sophie 13, Julia 12. Julia in the first year, and then today we got Rohan hitting the big 1-8, so many happy returns to you. Lucy 17, Jinsu 13, Ella 12. This is going into the weekend now. We've got Max. The other Max hits the big 1-8 over the weekend, so many happy returns. Hope you have a lovely day. Sadie hits the big 1-8 as well. Plum 14 and Trisha 14. So many happy returns to all of you, whether it was in the last few days, whether it's today or it's over the weekend. Hope you have a wonderful birthday with friends, family, obviously family close to you, friends probably online. But whatever the lockdown circumstances of lockdown 3.0, it's your birthday. So many happy returns and have a wonderful, wonderful day. A few other notices for you. I'm going to kind of scan through. As ever, I've got loads of lists at the moment, loads of stuff being sent to me, which is really good to see. I want to congratulate Eden Taylor for his poem that was contributed this week to our theme of charity and community. Who else have we got? We've got Charlie, who's been making donations, making tea, has been collecting rubbish. But I think that means, I don't think he's been collecting rubbish. I think he's been collecting up rubbish to get rid of. So he's been helping to kind of clean the area. So well done. And he's been donating to food bank, as have we this week. You'll be aware that we made big donations to food banks, but also to NHS and care workers. All those drinks, snacks, things that we had in school, ready for the 11 plus, which of course took place remotely. All got donated to our wonderful NHS workers at Kingston Hospital. Congratulations to Will on his poem on the community. And I got recommendations for the work of Alexandria in the first year. Emily in the third year, got a lovely photo of Emily as well, cooking cupcakes. Sophie in the third year, or second year, Tessa in the second year, cooking a wonderful vegan meal for a family. Kitty in the first year. So there's loads and loads of things there. Who else have I got? I think I might have a few more. But all those recommendations keep coming in. So there's commendations, there's headmasters commendations, and there's Amazon voucher winners. Now last week, I think we had about 5 winners because the artwork, the pencil drawings, the contributions, but there were videos, there were PowerPoints, presentations. So huge congratulations to all of you that won the Amazon vouchers last week, that got the heads commendations, that got the commendations, and this week's theme of charity and community, and some of which have used the NHS again in that, and that's absolutely fine, but really well done. I'm just seeing if I've missed anyone. So some information from Mr. Beard here as well. We want to say thank you to everyone who took part in last week's house pencil drawing competition. Some fantastic entries from across the school on the theme of Thank You NHS. Many featured in the bulletin or have been seen on social media such as Twitter. Overall, the most entries came from Queen's House, who earned therefore 20 points. Joint second, third, Lufkin and Stanley get 17 points, and joint fourth and fifth, Walworth Taverner get 13 points each. So that means there's a change at the top of the leaderboard. Where are we now? So last year's champions, Queen's House, are now back in the lead. They've overtaken Taverner. Well done, Queens. Go Queens. No partiality. Just because they're in the lead, right? Nothing to do with the fact that, no, okay, leave it there. Anyway, so let's see, Queen's 129, Taverner 127, so this is narrow, this is close. Lufkin 126, Walworth 109, Stanley 108, they're both very close as well. What else have we got? We've got congratulations to Jemima, who was awarded a distinction in her grade 8 violin ABRSM exam, so many congratulations, especially achieving that during lockdown. And as we know, I've mentioned it already, the theme for this week, charity and community. we're encouraging everybody to do what they can to make donations to food banks, hygiene banks, online, be it an actual physical donation if you've got a drop-off point, if you haven't, making a cash donation so they can purchase items, because it might not be possible to physically get out there and make the donations to the food bank or the hygiene bank. And if you've got an old laptop or similar device, donating it to the Don's Local Action Group. And all of that information is on the bulletin and will be on there again. And of course, we made my donations. A lot of you will have seen that I won the competition for the heads across the country in terms of Christmas jumpers. So my reindeer outfit combined with my elf hat, my Christmas socks, my Transport for London Christmas jumper, the reindeer tie. I won the competition, which earned me £100 prize to give to charity. I matched that prize, put another £100 towards it, and split it £50 each between the 4 charities that we're supporting currently. So that's gone out there this week. So kind of doing my bit, if you like, for charity in the community. But I'm going to tell you a bit more now in terms of making this more into an assembly about why this theme is so incredibly important. Bit of a story, bit of a background, not too long, I promise. So growing up, interested in lots of different things. I probably, I don't know how many of you would enjoy something like Desert Island Discs or something similar. Possibly these days, a few of you will listen to the radio and something like that. More of you might be in a game. You might be in kind of a Minecraft or a FIFA or a Call of Duty, maybe even a Fortnite, where you're kind of on your own. But there's different things to be achieved if you maybe play with other people. But when you listen to something like Desert Island Discs, it's about actually being on a desert island. What's your story? What are your favourite tracks? And what's your one book you take with you? And what's your one luxury? The idea being, could you survive with that? In the context of having your life story, your favourite book, your favourite track, your favourite music, and one luxury item. And so when I was, as enjoying that growing up and enjoying things that I could do on my own. So although a lot of things I did were kind of sporting, so they were played as part of a team, and obviously going to school, being in a classroom, I was quite happily practicing on my own. I practiced catching, kicking, whatever I needed to do. So when I came across the poem at slightly older age, John Donne, we all know this, the No Man is an Island entire of itself. The idea of thinking, what, no man is an island? You absolutely can be an island. Just listen to Desert Island Discs. You can be on your own. You can be separate from other people. You don't necessarily need other people, but there just are other people around. So slightly kind of warped view of the idea that you could live in isolation if you absolutely wanted to, in terms of the rest of society being around you. But if you wanted to be self-sufficient, you could. And that maybe came across kind of, when I look back in kind of retrospect, as kind of a rather selfish way of living. Is like I'm living amongst other people, I'm working amongst other people, I'm playing sport amongst other people, but I don't necessarily need other people. I'm quite happy with books, music, whatever it happens to be. And I stumbled across a great story at an equally kind of young age. And we've got to remember we're talking about a young, very young Mr. Lahek here. We're not talking about somebody who's kind of worldly wise and aware of all the virtues of everything going on around him. Stumbled across a story, a great writer, really enjoyed his plays, really enjoyed his book, A Picture of Dorian Gray, and I stumbled across the short stories, which were for children. And I was perhaps a little bit too old for them at this stage, but thought, I like Oscar Wilde. I think he's a phenomenal writer. Love his plays, love his novel. I'm going to read The Selfish Giant. And of course, at the start of that story, you can kind of see where this is going. You kind of, if you know that story, you think, absolutely, build a wall around your garden, other people don't have to come in. This is yours. It's not theirs. But actually, there are moments over time through the story when taking down the walls, encouraging other people to enjoy what you can enjoy, to share with them, and to actually gain joy from the experience they're having, becomes an incredibly important part of life. And that developed through other stories like The Happy Prince, and others of you know that story. It's a very sad story, but ultimately it's a very giving story. It's about the joy that can come from giving away what you have to support and help other people. The Happy Prince takes it to its extreme. But it's something that's worth kind of looking at. So if you're not aware of Desert Island Discs, if you're not aware of John Donne, No Man is an Island, if you're not aware of The Selfish Giant, The Happy Prince, Oscar Wilde, these are all things well worth reading and listening to. But the point of it is this, that you can begin thinking that actually it's nice to have other people, but you don't need other people. And then you move to a point where you realise it's not just the fact that you do need other people, but more to the point, they need you. And there's huge amounts to be gained from giving of yourself to them. You become the richer for it. Nothing gets detracted by giving to others. Everything gets embellished and enriched by giving to others. So that sharing and that giving. So as we heard yesterday from a wonderful young lady who's, I think I'm going to pop up at the end, Amanda Gorman, her little quote, it's not just about, kind of shining a light, and it's not just about receiving the light. It's about being the light. So this week's theme of charity and community is really important, not just because of what we can get from others when we come together as a community, what we all gain and benefit from that. And it's not just about charity, it's not just about what we can give to others and how they gain from that and how we gain reciprocally in terms of that great feeling we get from sharing and giving. But it's about being the light. And at this time, with everything that's going on in the world, particularly COVID, it's enormously important that we don't just shine lights into dark corners of the world or offer light to those people that need some at the end of the tunnel. It's enormously important that we will do our best to be that light, to be a beacon of hope, a beacon of our community, a beacon for the charity for the people that need it most, and a beacon for ourselves in terms of our own well-being. Look after yourself and enable yourself to look after others. So I'm going to leave you at the end with a slide with Amanda Gorman's quote from her fantastic poem at the inauguration ceremony of Joe Biden. Because I thought it was a phenomenal piece of work, brilliantly delivered. Until then, I'm going to wish you all well. Keep looking after yourselves. Keep working well. Keep being happy. Take care of yourselves, your family, your friends, and keep being kind. Stay safe, everyone. Until next week, it's Headmaster out.